So welcome to Bunny's Designs. This is a mini haul. I can't resist pencil cases and pencil bags, but actually this is quite impressive. I have one or two of them, and I have some of the plastic ones with good zips, and I always test the zips. I'm a bit of a fanatic about zips. And this was we have a little shop in the north of England called Boys, and they're normally in the north of east, so they're kind of Scarborough, Bridlington. It's one in Goole, and it's a fantastic little shop. And it had this canvas zip bag. It doesn't say the name of it, but of course as I go round it I might find it. £1.99. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist it. So although I was poorly, we with the girls wanted to go there, and I bought from there a couple of packs of rubber bands. In the Abbey they kind of disappear and get broken, so I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll buy 2 packs. I'll buy a pack of thin and a pack of thick, and then there's so many that I don't know all of them, so I thought I'd halve them. And they were 99p, so again, they weren't expensive. Oh, thank you, Claudia. This is a live show, recorded for Ustream.tv and also for YouTube, for my YouTubers. And thank you for my 1,000 subscribers. I'm so excited. That's why I had the wine. So I decided that a good idea would be to split the bag so that I could give the Abbey half of the big ones and half of the little ones, and then I would have a little pack with some for emergencies. But what I use the big ones for is when I got the Gansai Tambi watercolours, and I love these, but I love the box, and I love everything about them, except that if you drop this they kind of pop out. And of course that's really nice because you can work with 2 colours. It's very clever. But when they drop out, they go all over the floor, which is why they're a little bit dusty. So I put an elastic band. Oops. The thing is, sometimes they're a bit tight. So I keep that over there. So it does matter if I drop it really, but at least they're not going to fly everywhere. And I'd done that with the Derwent other tins that I'd got and the pastel box, and the cat knocked off my wonderful new Inktense blocks and broke 2. And my husband said he picked them all up, but he said that there were a couple were broken. And I thought, oh, you silly sausage, because what I didn't do is I didn't put the elastic band around them. So hopefully if that drops, it's not going to damage them. And the same with the pastels. I've bought the pastels as well. Oh, my hands do not work very well. And I really do not want these wonderful little babies. I mean, they will break eventually, but I don't want to break so quick. They're still babies. They're still precious at the moment. So again, another one on top there. I've probably used nearly half a box. So all your tins, and if you have a sketchbook, you can do that with the sketchbook as well. Now I've got something down there. Oh, that's what it is. So I bought my 99p. So now I have 2 bags, one which I will donate and the other one I got. So in this little zippy bag, now this was from Tesco's, and I'll go through those in a second. And my tissues were, now my daughters, both of them are obsessed by eco-friendly, so she said I could have these because they had the forest, and they also had the recycling as well. So she said I was allowed to have that, and I thought it was so pretty. I'd start to have some pretty things on my desk. And in Boys I also bought a couple of bags of sweets, because for some reason it's very dusty in this room. We live in the country and my room is really dusty, and I've been looking at traditional art materials. Instead of just getting a few pencils out and working in a little bag, I've been rooting round, so it's very dusty. So everything needs cleaning, everything needs dusting. So I bought these voice tablets, which are like little lozenges, and they smell gorgeous. Oh, hi Tara, welcome to Bunny's Designs. And I also have a couple of bags of the mints. So I've got 2 bags of mints in there and 1 bag of the cough sweets. And I'm going to leave these in the car because I find even though the girls are older now, they're in the teens, 19 and 17, I still find occasionally stuffing a sweet in their mouth is quite good. And my children were always really well behaved. Even in the car, we never had that bottle of water bashing on the car back seat because they would have found themselves trapped in the boot. But I always had a picnic. I used to have old-fashioned baskets, and of course they had 2 children's baby seats. From every age they had things that they could eat. So they had mini cheddars, and they had little biscuits, and they had sweet biscuits, and they had digestives. Anything that wasn't too chocolatey. Crumbs are very easy to hoover up. And I know people go, oh, food in a car. I never had a cry, I never had a peep out of them in all these years, purely because I had a couple of bottles of water, maybe a few things of juice. I used to have the cartons of juice. They weren't allowed pop, but there was always hidden somewhere in the car a little hidden supply. And then once we had quite a bad car crash and the car was written off, and luckily the children were all right, and a policeman stopped because he was off duty and he had to spend 4 hours on the motorway with us, and the kids thought it was great because they had a picnic. And one was a baby and one was a toddler, and we had to control these toddlers on a motorway, and it was fine because I got a lot of food and they never made a muff. Not a weep came out of them. So it's always a good idea. And since then, when my other friend said, oh my goodness, I'm going to do that, and she broke down and she said how wonderful that idea, it saved the day. So always have little, I think they used to be called Capri, but you can get little cartons of juice, hide them under the seat, put them in a little carrier bag, a bag of digestives, little mini cheddars, anything that will keep a long time, that's not going to go off. It's crumbs. Yeah, you can hoover crumbs from a car. If you have a screaming child in the car, you cannot drive right. You cannot drive concentrating. And plus the fact your child's getting distressed. Give them a carton of juice and a little bag of mini cheddars, and they think the world's theirs. So that's my little tip for the day. So they are older now, and we still get, Mummy, have you got anything to eat? So I still have 3 packets of crisps, even though she's 17. I have 3 packets of crisps hidden in the car because we get this, Mummy, I'm hungry. And also, if you're really desperate, you've got cough sweets. So I bought those and I filled my little £2.50 jar, and I always thought I wouldn't have a bag of sweets on my desk. But I've been making videos, and sometimes I make them for 6, 7, 8 hours on the trot, and so I get a bit croaky. So I thought I'm going to have these cough sweets and these little mints, so they'll just keep me going. These were from Tesco's, which I'll go through in a second. But at Boys we also had, my other little mini haul, which came in the post, is all about gouache. And I was a little bit disappointed. I was expecting a nice big colour book, but it's fine, it does the job, and I'll do a proper flick through when I go through my gouache. So I had some little labels, and I thought these were quite nice. I've got some big ones, but these were smaller. And I thought I would label my pastels. But these 2, again, I think they were $1.25. Oopsie, I mustn't move that. That's a no-no. They were single-sided and very simple, but I thought they'd be good for my gouache, for my practice. And they were $1.25, I think. Oh, did I pick 2? Oh, I picked 2 up. Oh, okay. Oh well. I might have one as a giveaway. I'm not very good with giveaways. Again, this was quite simple, and if I was doing a watercolour or if I was doing any kind of professional art... Sorry Claudia, I'll be back in a second. I just finished the recording and then I'll reboot everything. That's the detail that I would have. I would have a correct, simple drawing of composition. And if you think of the rule of 3, the rule of 9 for this, it works quite well. So the compositions are really quite good. Although that he's in the middle, but and this is perspective. So I always look at the drawings, and they are quite nicely drawn. So if it was a watercolor, if it was acrylic, oil, water-based oils, pastel, whatever it is, this is the standard and the amount of detail you need. Everything else you can put in after, but that's what you need. So that's why I bought those. And that was for practicing. And then I'd already bought these, but this is in cream paper, and I've never seen it on ivory cream paper before. So I don't know if it was a misprint. I tried to find some more and I couldn't, and it's different, it's thinner, but it's that ivory paper that I like. So I don't know if it's a copy, I'm not sure, but I loved it. So it was £2.99, so I bought that one. And then this is my narrow margin, narrow page, narrow lined. And if you have a small file of fax, you want narrow lines, not big ones. And then of course, last but not least, is the wonderful little canvas bag that did hold quite a lot. So in theory you can put your pens and things inside, and you can put your colour books in there. The last couple of things I got from Tesco's, and I have to say they were expensive. It was £8 for this. Shh, don't tell hubby. But it's the Friction eraser, but I bought it because it's quite chunky. And I thought I'd quite use that when I've got bad hands, and also I wanted some 7mm, and this is quite chunky as well. So you've got your pen and you've got your pencil. So that's quite strange, is that it's got 3 colours, black, blue and red, and then it has a pencil. So I had those 2 as well. So thank you for watching, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And that was my mini haul from Boys. Thanks for watching.